Well, today I can promise you two things. First, we're going to break down 4 really practical booking mistakes parents make before they even pick up the phone. And second, we are going to reveal the surprising, deep-seated psychological reasons behind why we actually make them.
By the end of this, you're going to have a crystal clear roadmap for your next booking.
Okay, let's take a super quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to breeze through those 4 actionable booking mistakes, and then for our final act, we'll uncover the fascinating behavioral science that triggers every single one of them.
All right, let's jump straight into mistake number 1, the date and time trap. Basically, this is committing before you shop.
So, this trap happens when you mentally lock in a very specific party time, usually weeks before you even call a game truck company. Now, I know it seems like completely harmless planning, right? But it's actually the absolute most common source of disappointment.
Picture a typical Saturday. A parent is naturally going to anchor to, say, a 1 p.m. start time. And why wouldn't they? It makes perfect sense. You skip the crazy early morning logistics, and everyone is wrapped up by 3 p.m., well before dinner. But here is the major catch. Because it makes so much sense, that afternoon slot is literally the single most requested time frame in the entire market. And since most independent game truck operators only run a single truck, only one family actually gets it. If you wait around, shop a bit, and then try to book it, it's practically guaranteed to be gone.
But don't worry, there's a really reliable fix for this. To avoid missing out, try these solutions instead. First, pick your preferred company based on their quality and whether they actually fit your vision. Second, bring 2 or 3 flexible dates or times to the table. Seriously, a 3 p.m. start or even a Friday evening shouldn't be viewed as a compromise. In fact, flexibility is actually your most powerful tool. It's kind of your superpower to get the best operator in your area rather than just settling for whoever happens to have an opening. And finally, you gotta book early. The really good companies are booking their weekend slots weeks, sometimes even months in advance. Which brings us right to mistake number 2, the premature invitation trap, locking in those guests. What's crazy about mistake number 2 is how it directly compounds the first one. This is literally a recipe for failure that causes your whole party plan to unravel. Here's how it usually goes. You mentally pick a date, you send out those beautifully designed invitations, and only then do you start shopping for a game truck. But what happens when you discover your preferred date is totally booked up? Well, now you're completely trapped. You have a locked-in guest list of kids who have already cleared their schedules, and you might not have a single game truck available within your budget to actually entertain them. So what's the fix? It's all about using a stress-free sequence. And honestly, it just requires flipping your order of operations.
Here's the right way to do it. Step 1, identify the absolute best company for your needs. Step 2, confirm their available dates and times. Step 3, pick from those actual real-world options. And only then, step 4, do you distribute your invitations with a confirmed date. When it comes to booking, order of operations is literally everything.
It costs absolutely $0 to change this sequence, but it entirely eliminates the most common late-stage planning disaster. It's a total game changer that saves you from that awful, panicked Friday night scramble trying to figure out a backup plan.
All right, moving on to mistake number 3, the uniformity assumption. This is when we think all trucks are created equal. This mistake causes some serious purchase paralysis because a lot of us just naturally assume every single game truck offers the exact same experience. But let me tell you, the market is not uniform at all. These operators aren't just selling the same exact thing at different price points. Think about it. A baseline $350 drop-off rental, where a driver basically just parks the truck and lets the kids run wild, is fundamentally different from a $599 fully staffed premium production. If you go into this assuming all game trucks are the same, you're going to evaluate them purely on price, and you will completely miss the massive gap in quality, the actual equipment being used, and the level of staffing. So, the solution here? It's pretty straightforward.
You have to actively fix mistake 3 by changing your entire approach. Try to evaluate each operator fresh, treating them as a brand new experience rather than just comparing them to a past party. Ask exactly what is specifically included in their package. Do the math on the total cost, the base price plus any sneaky add-ons. And honestly, the most important thing is simply acknowledging that there is a massive quality gap in this market between entry-level rentals and full-blown premium productions.
And that leads us to mistake number 4, the unlimited guest assumption, trying to manage the crowd.
This final mistake is one that catches parents completely off guard, and that is expecting unlimited guests.
You have to decide your priority first. Are you just trying to accommodate a massive crowd, or do you want a true VIP experience for your kid?
On one hand, you have the standard rental. This model delivers basic entertainment. It is literally built to manage large rotating crowds. Think of a busy school fair.
Or big block parties, where huge rotating crowds are totally fine.
On the other hand, you have the premium production.
Their entire business model is strictly focused on making the guest of honor feel like an absolute VIP.
This model delivers a true celebration. It focuses entirely on the birthday child, intentionally limiting the scope to make sure it's an unforgettable, deeply personalized experience.
That means strict guest limits are an intentional design feature to make sure the party is amazing. They aren't just some arbitrary capacity rule meant to annoy you.
Understanding this contrast is absolutely vital before you book anything.
So how do you figure out which type of business you're actually talking to on the phone? Well, you ask them this ultimate filtering question. What specifically do you do for the birthday child? Pay close attention to how they answer. A standard rental operator will almost always answer by describing their equipment. They'll list off the screens, the consoles, the games, but a premium production operator, they'll answer by describing the actual experience they craft for that VIP guest of honor. That one answer tells you absolutely everything you need to know.
Okay, now for the grand finale. Section 5, the hidden psychological forces at play.
We've spent a lot of time talking about the practical logistics, but now we're going to pull back the curtain on the subconscious forces driving all 4 of these errors. Why do we actually keep making these same booking mistakes over and over? Well, it turns out this isn't just about logistical blunders or, being a bad planner. It's actually a textbook case of behavioral psychology hijacking our party planning. These mistakes happen because our expectations are firmly formed in our brains before we gather any real information from the market. Let's look at the very first culprit. As Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman's research famously shows, we constantly fall victim to anchoring bias.
Basically, it means that when you get a piece of information early on, say you remember a party price from 3 years ago, or you just mentally commit to a specific Saturday in your head, that thought becomes an unconscious anchor. Suddenly, a new price feels totally wrong, or any other date feels like a massive compromise.
And it feels like a heavy compromise because your brain is literally punishing you for deviating from the anchor it created in the first place, even when the new option is actually a totally different, much better service. Building right on top of that, we've got confirmation bias. This one is absolutely fascinating when you see it play out in real life. Once you've mentally anchored to the idea that a game truck should just be a cheap drop-off rental, you naturally resist any new information about a premium structured production.
So let's say a parent previously booked a basic drop-off game truck for $350. Because of confirmation bias, they'll just automatically assume every single game truck out there offers that exact same uniform service at that exact same price.
Discovering that your long-held belief is incorrect actually challenges your self-image. That makes it incredibly hard to just confidently say, oh, okay, I'll book the better option. We actively seek out information that proves our original assumption right, instead of just adapting to what the market actually looks like today. So let's tie this all together just like we promised. As you can see, every single one of these 4 mistakes is directly driven by these exact biases. Mistake number 1, getting trapped by a date, and mistake number 2, sending out premature invites. Both of these happen because you anchored on a specific date before checking the market. Then mistake number 3, assuming all trucks are the same, and mistake number 4, expecting unlimited guests. Well, those happen because you anchored on a past price or a past service level, which completely blinded you to what a premium production actually offers today. But here is the good news. By breaking free from these unconscious anchors and finally understanding how the market actually operates, you get to take your power back as a parent. You're empowered to stop shopping on autopilot and answer this final, most important question. What kind of experience do you truly want for your child's story? Do you want a chaotic drop-off, or do you want a genuinely memorable celebration? The choice is entirely yours, and now you know exactly how to book it without the stress. But honestly, it does beg a much bigger question. If we do this with birthday parties, where else in your life are invisible anchors making your buying decisions for you?